Alright, what's up, everyone? Back with another episode of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Talking about the Rising Stars game from yesterday. Talking about today, the All Star Saturday night. We got the Skills Challenge, 3-point contest, dunk contest. Um, Talking about some more news outside of this, about the bio market and stuff like that. And yeah, we're going to get right into it with the Rising Stars game that happened yesterday. Ended with Team Powell winning, like I predicted. So I'm 1 for 1 so far. Team Powell won the Rising Stars Challenge, and Jose Alvarado was the Rising Stars MVP. He was so fun to watch the first game. Put the mic on him, and he scored like 13 points with the mic on him. He was hilarious on live TV. He probably won't be on live TV again after all the cursing and stuff that he did. But it was fun though. It was really fun. He's a great character, you know. And yeah, he came out. He played really well. He had the game-winning shot. He told Donovan Mitchell, like, "Hey, if I get the ball, I'm gonna shoot it, and you gotta buy me dinner." So, and he did. He did it, and he won Rising Stars MVP. The only undrafted player in the whole um roster, and he was the one that won the MVP. In his career, his story has been great. Georgia Tech. He's a 4-year player. Went undrafted. Had a good tournament game that people, caught on to him. Gets signed by the Pelicans after the draft. Works in training camp. Gets awarded with a two-way contract, and then shows up last year in his rookie year. Um, and just plays tough, plays aggressive, plays hard with a lot of energy. Plays good defense. Hits some timely shots. Had a big playoff series against the Suns with Chris Paul, um, and then gets awarded with a full contract from the Pelicans. And now this year he's stepped up even more. He's had a 30-point game at one point. He's been a key part of the Pelicans, and now he's the Rising Stars MVP. Um, he's been great. He is a really good player. He's found his role in the NBA. He's not just a gimmick player, that just is known for one thing. He actually can play in the NBA, and he showed it. He's been showing it this year. It's really nice to see. But yeah, some more things in the Rising Stars, some takeaways. Quentin Grimes is amazing. his shot is just so like great. Like it's so great. It's so like uniform. His jumper is just so like top to bottom. Like he gets it up quick, and it's a swish every time. I feel like he was insane this game. I think he said he combined for like 27 points, most of them 3-pointers. He was in all his threes. Evan Mobley, Josh Giddey, Jeremy Sohan, that team played well, got to the championship game. Evan Mobley had some moments. Josh Giddey had some nice passes. Jeremy Sohan had a nice dunk. Trey Murphy, third, had a nice dunk. um, AJ Griffin was literally out there just doing whatever. I feel like AJ Griffin didn't even like kind of care. AJ Griffin was just going out there, and whenever he got the ball, he was just pulling from three. He didn't really, he didn't really care. Paolo had a solid performance as well. He had some tough shots. He got to the rim. Um, and then the G League Ignite team, you can definitely tell they're G Leaguers because there's a lot of times, a lot of sloppy moments out there. But Mac McClung really showed up, for the G League team. He had 10 points. He almost had a nasty dunk, nasty reverse that he was just an inch short of. But that would have been really nice to see him. He was hit some 3-pointers. If he had a good performance yesterday, if he has a dunk contest performance today, like his name's gonna be on the list of players that might be getting some real contracts soon. The Sixers already signed him to a two-way, so maybe he's trying to compete for minutes on the Sixers, I guess. Yeah, he was good. Scoot Henderson showed some flashes. Definitely looked like a few times he was kind of like trying to force it and trying to just will his way to the rim. Which didn't really work out, but he showed some performance. He showed some light. Kenny Lofton Jr. I love Kenny Lofton Jr. Um, he had a good, solid performance. He hit some threes, got to the rim, get blocked by Evan Mobley a few times. Overall, it was a fun Rising Stars game. Jose Alvarado won MVP. And yeah, this format was pretty good. You get more people in the Rising Star game. You get some G Leaguers to show some show some promise. And yeah, it was just really fun, you know. Um, Also, yesterday was the All-Star Celebrity Game. DK Metcalf, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, won Celebrity Game MVP. He put up 20 and 10 with 4 blocks. He was dunking. That was a fun watch. Um, but yeah, so that was yesterday. Now today, we got the All-Star Saturday Night challenges. We got the skills challenge. We got the 3-point contest, and then we got the dunk contest. And now my predictions for each contest. For the skills challenge, I'm going with the rookie team. I'm going with them. Their rookie team, they got Paolo, Jaden Ivey, and Jabari Smith. I think Team Rookie is going to take it. Trying to remember most of the skills challenge from last year. There's a lot of, shooting, dribbling, passing. I think the Team Rookie has the best all-around kind of players, but could do a little bit of everything. So I think that team's going to win it for the skills challenge. 3-point contest, I got Kevin Herter. Put it on Kevin Herter. I just feel like when you look at the past 3-point contest winners, I think he's kind of fits the mold, kind of a little bit more. His name's a little bit more under the radar ish. He's not like, a lot of people don't know him as one of the better shooters, but he can knock down and he can get hot and knocks him down. And I think he's gonna be Kevin Herter winning the 3-point contest. Dunk contest, I got Mac McClung winning. I got Mac McClung winning. I think he's gonna show out. He already told Shams yesterday in an interview, he has 2 dunks that he knows never been done before in the dunk contest. He's gonna show. Very excited to see what he can do in the dunk contest. So those are my predictions. I got Team Rookie in the Skills Challenge, Kevin Herter 3-point contest, Mac McClung dunk contest. Yeah, I just hope it's fun. I just hope there's entertainment. I hope it's a fun Saturday night. In the for the All Stars, and yeah, we just have some fun out there. All right, now we're gonna go to more news outside of the All Star Weekend, more of the buyout market and stuff like that. First thing we're gonna talk about is Shams reporting that the Miami Heat have emerged as leaders to sign Kevin Love after he completes his buyout with the Cavaliers. Yeah, there's a lot of reports coming out about the Cavs trying to lead Kevin Love to go to the West and not help out someone else in the Eastern Conference. But the Miami Heat, ever since the Kevin Love Kevin Love buyout was even like rumored, the Heat have been a top team that have been named and trying to get Kevin Love, and it makes a lot of sense. The Heat don't have that many bodies for one. I mean, Hayward Highsmith plays minutes, so if he could play, I think Kevin Love can play there. The Heat need some more 3-point shooting. They're not a really good 3-point shooting team. Kevin Love provides a lot of 3-point shooting. And then their power forward, big man spots. Their starting power forward is Caleb Martin, who's good, but he's 6'5". They haven't really had a real power forward. So Kevin Love is playing that role, backup power forward. But he also played backup big as well, because they traded away Dwayne Denman. So now they don't really have a good backup big. So Kevin Love, I think if he goes to Miami, he'll probably get the best opportunity there, because Miami doesn't have, again, a lot of bodies, and they don't have a real backup big. So throwing Kevin Love in there would be nice. They can space the floor, rebound. He's going to draw some charges. I think he's going to have the most opportunity to play, because that's what he wants. At this point, he wants an opportunity to play and get minutes. And I think in Miami, he's going to get a lot of minutes there. So I think it'll be a really good signing for Miami to go get Kevin Love. And yeah, it's going to be very weird to see him in a Heat jersey. But, I think Miami is definitely the spot for Kevin Love. Some more rumors. There was one thing I want to talk about a little bit about Vince Carter. He was on an interview yesterday, and he was talking about the dunk contest. Vince Carter multiple time. He's dunk contest winner. He has that famous one back in early 2000s. But he was talking about the NBA and dunk contest, and he told a story about how the NBA once tried to create a dunk contest between him, LeBron, Kobe, and T-Mac, and offered them each $1 million to participate in the dunk contest. Of course, it didn't happen. But it's very interesting. I want to talk about it more of like the NBA dunk contest and how it's kind of fallen. Like it used to be like insane. Like when Vince Carter was a part of it. Um, During those years, dunk contest was always, it was a dunk contest. Everyone was very excited to get up and watch these guys perform just magical dunks. But now it's kind of turned into kind of just whatever. It's kind of like now you see dunk contest, it's like, oh well, dunk contest. We'll see what happens here. But it doesn't have that same energy and that same excitement that it used to have. You know, and a lot of it is because I feel like a lot of the players now kind of don't like you don't see the stars in the dunk contest. I think that's the big reason. Like a lot of the dunk contest participants now are like bench players and like role players. Like they are G leaguers in the dunk contest now. And that's where we got into. Where it's like no one really cares about the dunk contest anymore. All the star players that would be good, like John Morant's and Zion Williamson's, Anthony Edwards, just don't really care about it anymore. You know, like they rather focus on playing the actual All Star game or being healthy and not trying to do some crazy dunks. To than doing the dunk contest. And I think that would probably be the key to getting the dunk contest back to what it used to be. Is if the stars come back, stars like John, like if imagine a dunk contest with Ja, Zion, Anthony Edwards, and then like can't think of another all star that can jump high. That's a big dunker right now off the top of my head, but imagine like that dunk contest would be insane. Like people would love watching that dunk contest. And so I think the stars being in the dunk contest is kind of like what headlines why All Star Weekend is so fun and why the dunk contest was so fun because they had guys like Vince Carter, like the Kobe Bryants, like the Dwight Howard when he was in Orlando was in the dunk contest. Like you had all the stars, in the dunk contest, and now it's just kind of been dwindled down to just role players and eighth men on the off the bench and players and people that no one really knows about, that the casual fan doesn't know about. You know, like the casual NBA fan probably has never even like heard of Jericho Sims. You know, and now all of a sudden he's in the dunk contest. Like, yeah, it sucks. But imagine this dunk contest though, with LeBron, Kobe, T Mac, and Vince Carter. That would be fun. LeBron's never been in a dunk contest before. Um, you know, so that would have been fun. That would have been a lot of names, definitely a lot of hype around it. People would have been the advertisements on that would have been crazy. People would have gone crazy with that dunk contest, but of course, never happened. Big what if, you know, probably would have gotten a lot of moments out of that dunk contest. Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is about Lonzo Ball. The Bulls' starting point guard has not played in over a year in the NBA because of a knee injury, and per Casey Johnson, hoops, he works with the Chicago Bulls. He's a reporter for Chicago Bulls, talking about how Lonzo Ball is still not able to run or cut, and the expectation is that after the All-Star break, the Bulls are going to shut him down for the rest of the year, which is not really a surprise. We haven't seen anything really of him even doing anything on the court. Did you have that one video a while ago, I think a month ago, where he did show himself dunking? But besides that, we haven't even seen anything of him. And there's been a lot of talk about his knee and how, they had to go back in and fix it, and he's still not able to walk upstairs. Now he's still not able to run or cut effectively, and it's just really sad. Because I feel like Lonzo Ball was playing at the best and at the highest value of his career when he was in Chicago. When he first got to Chicago, I felt like he was the perfect kind of mix for that team. A point guard that was gonna control the offense. He was gonna make the passes that are necessary. He was gonna play good defense. He was knocking down his threes, becoming a really good 3-point shooter. And then this injury happens, and now it's just like we don't even know if he's ever even gonna play again. At this point. Like who knows if he's ever even gonna be able to play on the court again. Let alone even contribute. And be valuable to a team. It just really sucks. He was the number 2 overall pick, has some very high expectations, and a lot of people say that he didn't hit those expectations that people thought he was. But in that, he was becoming his own kind of role player, you know? I think we kind of need to talk about that, how top picks, um, how even if they don't live up, some of them don't live up to the number one overall. Because when you pick number one, number two, number three overall, you're looked at to be like an all-star. Like that connotation around a top three, top five pick is like you're supposed to come in and do something, change your team, or be some like an all-star level, maybe even superstar level player. You know, and a lot of people haven't hit that, didn't hit that, but they still become really good players in their own. But I feel like people don't really appreciate it because they see number two overall pick and it's like, oh, this dude was number two. This dude was supposed to be number two, and he just turned into like a role player. But like I think you've seen it a lot in these past few years drafts, where like top picks, even if they didn't hit the expectation that people thought they were gonna hit, they still became really good players in themselves. You know, like Andrew Wiggins is a prime example. Number one overall pick, everyone projected him to be the next LeBron, number one athletic, dunk on everybody, yeah, all this. He went to Minnesota and his numbers look great, but we know in Minnesota he wasn't an all-star level player. You know, he had good numbers, but it just didn't look right. But then he goes to Golden State, and now all of a sudden he's a key part, maybe the second best player on a championship team, becomes an all-star, and now he's looked at as one of the better role player wings in the league. He was the number one overall pick, but now, you know, even though he didn't turn into that all-star superstar everyone thought he was going to be, he's still a very good role player that's going to have a long career in the NBA because he because I mean it didn't work out, but he found his role as really good in his role. Aaron Gordon this year, Aaron Gordon was a top five pick, um, in himself, and with Orlando he had some moments, you know, but he never really turned into an all-star level player or anything. He kind of was just average. Now he goes to Denver, you know, it's kind of turns into like the number three, number four player. But now this year he was in all-star conversations this year because he turned into a role player and a key part of Denver by doing the little things, you know, playing really good defense, hitting threes when he needs to, cutting, dunking, you know. He found his role in Denver and he's playing the best he's ever played. Yeah, and also it's starting to happen with Markelle Fultz. You know, Markelle Fultz, number one overall pick, thought he was going to be the next guy for Philly. You know, he was amazing in college at Washington, number one overall pick. Um, and then he has that injury with his arms. You know, he has that whole weird situation go on. He doesn't really play that much. When he did play, he couldn't really shoot. Gets traded to Orlando in just like 2 years. And everyone kind of throws him on like, yeah, he's a bust. He didn't do anything. But now he's a starting level point guard, and he's become a very big part of this Orlando Magic team for now and probably for the future because like he found his role as a point guard. You know, he found his role. He gets other people involved. He does kind of all around point guard, plays hard on defense, finds people, you know, rebounds, gets to the rim. Like, I mean, he's become a very solid NBA player and solid role player for this young up and coming Atlanta Magic team. He was a number one overall pick, so people are always gonna think like, oh, he was number one. And he only averaged like 13 points. Like this dude didn't do anything. But if you take the number one pick off of him, it's like, dang, this dude is actually a really solid role player. And I feel like Lonzo Ball was gonna be the next guy like that. Where even though you look at number two overall pick and you look at his number and you're like, oh, this dude was number two. Like this dude never even made an All-Star game or anything. He was the number two overall pick, but you look at what he did in New Orleans and what he did in Chicago before he got hurt. And you're like, oh, this dude is actually one of the better 3-and-D kind of guards, 3-and-D guards in the league. You know, a dude that can do a little bit of everything. And just so it really sucks to see that Lonzo kind of can't play that out. You know, like he has not played in an NBA game since January 14th, 2022, against the Golden State Warriors. That was his last game. And yeah, he hasn't played. That's over a year. It's over a year. So it really sucks. I hope he can eventually get back, maybe next year. And he can kind of try to get back into the swing of things. But as of right now, I mean, who knows when he's ever gonna come back? You know, who knows? Really sucks because really, I really think he's a really good role player and a really important part to the Chicago Bulls. But we'll never know if he's ever gonna be that. The next one is about NBA All Star Weekend. Reports saying that Crypto.com Arena will officially submit a bid to try and host the 2025 NBA All Star Game. Of course, this year it's in Salt Lake City, Utah. I think next year is gonna be in Indiana, um, Indianapolis. And 2025 still up in the air. So Crypto.com Arena, which is the new Staples Center, the LA, is gonna try to host the 2025 NBA All Star Game. So we're gonna probably might go back to LA, 2025. I think wasn't it in LA in 2020? I think 2020. I think was LA. It was around that year. It was in LA, the All Star Game. And now it's probably coming back a few years later, which makes sense. I mean, it's LA. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to LA? I guess for All Star Weekend, especially All Star. You know, all the stars are gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of people there, a lot of moving parts, a lot of entertainment going on, and it'll be big. You know, so yeah, just want to say that crypto might be going to crypto in 2025. If it's still called crypto.com, who knows? It probably will be, but who knows? With Bitcoin and all that stuff, who knows what happens? I don't really pay attention to it. But yeah, I just want to say that, I guess. Um, Lastly, I want to talk about a little bit of college basketball. We have some big games going on today. Um, we got some ranked matchups. The big matchup is at 4. We got Baylor and Kansas, two top 10 teams going at it. With Baylor, we got guys like Adam Flagler, Keontae George that I really want to see what they can do, especially Keontae George is projected to go pretty high in the draft. I really want to see him today. And the Kansas got some really good players. They got Jalen Wilson, one of their top players. Very excited to see him. I've seen some of his games this season. I think he's really solid as a wing that can shoot, can rebound, can do a little bit of everything. Really want to see him. They got Grady Dick in there. What a name. Grady Dick. As a shooter, but can also get some for himself. You know, and he's kind of been surprised this year. So I want to see him. I just want to see these two teams battle, you know. It's always going to be fun when two top 10 teams go at it. Yeah, you also got another ranked matchup. Iowa State and Kansas State are playing each other. Iowa State 19 ranked. Kansas State 12 ranked. They play at 2. Very excited to see Kansas State. They've been kind of surprised this year, too. They were up, I think, as high as they were a top 5 ranked team at one point, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I really want to see how they play. Kansas State. Shout out to Michael Beasley. Kansas State Wildcat. Legend. I guess. Legend? Yeah, I guess. I mean, he was number 2 overall pick. But yeah, very excited from the college games. We got some other games. You know, we got Illinois, Indiana. I think could be very solid. Tennessee's playing Kentucky. You know, Kentucky's on. It's really going to be a show. TCU, Oklahoma State. Our two teams highly ranked. Texas and Oklahoma are playing. Alabama, the number 1 team in the nation, is playing against Georgia tonight at 6, and it's not a football matchup; it's a basketball matchup. Yeah, very excited for some of the college games today. Oh my God, California's 3-23. That's horrible. Yeah, very excited to see some of these matchups today. Houston's not playing, huh? And Houston's playing tomorrow. Houston plays Memphis tomorrow. I like to watch Houston. I think they're a really good team. Shout out to Kelvin Sampson, their head coach. He's done a fantastic job with that program. I think is that it already? Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, we're not probably the next 2 episodes or 3 episodes are gonna be very kind of shorter ones, just because I mean the NBA there's not much going on, and college really all happens today. So tomorrow we're gonna be talking about a lot more college. But after All Star Weekend, after Monday, we're gonna be doing on Tuesday. I'm doing a power rankings of all the NBA teams, and then I'm gonna be doing some predictions of the second half of the season. That's not gonna be in the same episode, but There's gonna be some episodes. So after All-Star break, we're gonna be doing the power rankings, and we're gonna be doing some more stuff. So these next few episodes might be a little bit tough. They'll be a lot shorter than the others, but we're gonna get back to the longer, more talky episodes. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow.